Everyone in this room has been ripped off at least once in their lifetime.
First of all,
Everyone in this room has been ripped off at least once in their lifetime. Everyone has paid for a good or a service, and then they didn't have the service rendered onto them. Or they paid for a good, but the good was deficient. And we all know when that happens, we feel very injured. We feel hurt, we feel frustrated, we feel angry, we feel cheated. Consider then when Mirza Sahib promised 50 volumes of the writing of his book, Barahin-e Ahmadiyya, and he collected the subscription money from his followers or his supporters. But 20 years down the road, some 20 years down the road, he had only barely delivered 4 volumes of Barahin-e Ahmadiyya. Some months after his death, the 5th volume was published. And since he knew he was going to publish the 5th volume, he said to his critics that, look, the difference between 50 and a 5 is just that of a 0, and a 0 is nothing. So in other words, I don't owe you anything.
Farhan is a former, let me see if I get this right, Ahmadiyya.
So let's start off. I actually used to believe the same things that Farhan used to believe before he became an Orthodox Sunni Muslim.
This brings us to the point of this video. Sam Shamoon and I have been planning to write some books since 2009. There are a lot of books out there about Islam. Some of them are good. Many of them are the opposite of good. But I'd say that the most devastating information and arguments against Islam haven't been published yet. The best books about Islam are still waiting to be written.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Sam and I decided a while back to fill in some of the gaps in the literature. It's been a couple of years now, and we put out a ton of articles and dozens of videos and lectures and debates, and we've done plenty of episodes of Jesus or Muhammad, but we've never had the time or the funding to put together some of the more thorough resources we'd like to work on. We have families and children and bills to pay, and writing entire books means we'd have to set aside other projects for a while, which in turn means that we'd starve and get kicked out of our apartments for not paying the rent. So, desperate times call for desperate measures. We've realized that we're never going to get this done on our own. That's why we're turning to you for help. We're asking our viewers and readers to chip in for a couple of months. If we can scrape together enough funds to pay the bills while we work on 2 or 3 books, Sam and I are going to sit down and focus on writing some brutal critiques of Muhammad and Islam.
Everyone in this room has been ripped off at least once in their lifetime.